I still get a huge amount of pleasure from rummaging around a farmyard in the sun in the UK. The great thing about farmyards is things just get parked and left for another day that maybe never happens. Well, we've come to a beautiful farm here in Sussex, and there are cars littered around, and we will have a look at those later. But the family work in the car industry, so instead of getting sick of cars day in, day out, they come home and they work on cars, hobby cars. There is a difference. I can relate to that. But the family used to spend a lot of time living in Germany, and that probably influenced what is in here, because this car was bought 30 years ago, driven a lot all over Europe in a spirited way, and then parked up about 25 years ago when it was pretty tired, frankly, and quite worthless. Probably a bit of a clue to say this is the godfather of the hot hatch, and it is German. This is, of course, a barn find, a real barn find edition of the Late Break Show, and I'm Jonny Smith. So, David, you don't live on this farm. This is your mum and dad's farm.
Correct, yeah.
And it's awesome. Just having a quick look around, there's so much interesting stuff, hoarded bits.
Yeah, it's heaven for car people, yeah.
So you guys, I know we will have a look at some of the other trinkets that, off camera. There's some amazing things. But the car in here that I've come to see specifically, was this your first car, or was this?
It is my third car, my third Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And I drove it for about 10 years, yeah.
And you did loads of miles.
Yeah, the first two were just basic models. And yeah, I drove this all over Europe. The Nürburgring, up and down Snetterton and Brands Hatch. And
you did track days in it?
I did track days in it, yeah. I had a great time, and it was my daily runner at the same time, yeah.
And then it got put in here?
It got very tired, a lot of miles. It got tired, the windscreen was cracked, needed new tyres. I didn't have any money at the time. It was a lot to get it to maintain it. So I decided enough's enough, just retire it for now. I'll come back to it another day.
And that was
restore it. That was 2002.
Wow, okay, so a while ago.
Yeah.
Can we have a look?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it, because I've never done one of these on the Late Break Show before. Never. Look at that. So Golf GTI Mark 1.
Here it is.
But the run-out edition, the last of them.
Yes, the A-Reg Pirelli Campaign edition. Some people call it Pirelli, some people call it Campaign.
Yeah.
Campaign, I call it.
It was, like you say, it was the very end of the Mark 1.
Yes, they couldn't shift the Mark 1s before the Mark 2 launch, so they put some extra bits on the Mark 1s to get them out the door.
Clearly you've got a thing for them because you've kept it.
We went, we did a lot together, me and this car, hanging out with me and my mates when we were boy racers, and drove all over Europe in it, and it was my daily runner for work, and it was everything, you know, this car. And for 10 years, I never crossed my mind to change it. It's only because it got tired and knackered that I had to retire it, but I loved it every day.
Back end of the 90s, beginning of the noughties, these were not valued like they are now, because the whole hot hatch phenomenon on nostalgia, as we know it, hadn't grown yet. So the campaign model, you said, I think all campaigns are on an A. Are they 1983?
All A-Reg, all A-Reg.
And VW went, right, we need to sell the last of the Mark 1s. It's got to have a sunroof. It's got to have the Pirelli P wheels, which are really iconic. That flat disc wheel, they were so cool.
Yeah. The leather around the steering wheel is unique to the campaign, really.
Yeah.
Trip computer, I think, is the only thing that, and the extra 2 lights on the front grille.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's it.
And you could buy them, and I think they introduced a couple of more wild colours, Laser green, Helios blue.
Yeah. Red and white.
Yeah.
I wanted, I lucked out on this in many ways, but amongst them, the luck was the colour. I wanted a silver one. So,
did you?
Yeah. I love the silver.
Tell me how much you paid for this in 1993?
I begged my father for the money because I didn't have it. All I had was £800 at the time. This was advertised for 1,400 or maybe 1,500, and I haggled them down to 1,400.
Yeah.
And then came home because I committed myself, said, I'll take it, let me just go home to get the money.
And you didn't actually
And I didn't have the money. And then I had to come back and beg my dad, because I had a Golf already at the time. And he said, why do you want another one? I said, Dad, I have to have this one. It's a campaign.
Yeah.
It's limited edition. It's amazing. It was a mint at the time. Only 72,000 miles, I think. I have to have it. And he relented and lent me the money. I was to pay it back over the years, but I don't think I did.
So you had a Mark 1 Golf before that was a non-GTI?
Yes, yeah.
I think what we'll do is, because it's right up against what appears to be the control system from Chernobyl. That's
emission equipment from what's supposed to go onto a dyno, engine dyno equipment, and that was all going to plug into it. That measures the emissions. I think that's probably from the 80s-ish era.
It does look quite Cold War spec.
It's quite manual or quite mechanical rather than the digital as you would get these days.
You work in the car industry,
yes,
and your dad did.
Yes.
And that's sort of how all this has come about, right?
Yeah.
As we go around the farm, you'll see. Well, you guys have built an entire dyno.
Yes. My father he worked for Ford in Germany, research and development. Ricardo's down in Shoreham before that.
Yeah.
Him and Mum went to Germany in '62, worked for 24 years at Ford's in Cologne.
Yeah.
Loved engines. And then when he retired, he wanted to build his own facility, which he did just over there.
So basically bought this place
for that purpose.
To put a dyno in a barn.
He wanted his own workshop, his own dyno. And
so he's an engine guy.
Yeah.
And you picked up on that, and then you work for a manufacturer now.
Yes, I'm in the same industry, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So cool. So you will see lots of interesting trinkets. I've spotted a few awesome ones. Let's pump the tyres up and get this out.
Yeah.
Get a better look at it. Feel like I might have been outgunned this time. I thought it was my compressor, but that has quite a thumb-sized hole in it. But the other three tyres have inflated, so
it's working now. It's inflating.
What, with your thumb in?
With my more than my thumb.
You've wedged your entire. So, how is this going to work? How's this going to work?
Well, we'll have to put the spare on, I think.
We should be able to roll it back on 3. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out of this barn. The day's beautiful. We're going to roll it down the yard into Dave's dad's workshop, which is majestic.
So basically, if I pull my thumb out now, it's just going to.
It will blast.
It's going to go flat.
Okay, so definitely ruined. Definitely ruined. Yeah. So it's not been outside in a while.
No.
I mean, it's got some. I can see it's got a brand new windscreen. Still got the label on it.
Before I put it away, the windscreen was cracked, and even then, it was quite It's quite an old car. Even then.
Yeah.
20 plus years old, and I was worried that if I left it too long, I wouldn't be able to get a replacement windscreen. So I got one, put it in, and then tucked it away up the rear. And the same with the rear exhaust, the back muffler. Yeah. That was rotten, and I thought just buy one now, and in case you can't get one later.
Interesting.
Hence the stickers are still on here.
I was going to say. Yeah. And then this is the front chin spoiler, is it?
That's the chin spoiler. Yeah. I've got a new one of them somewhere as well. It might be in the back.
The bumper's missing at the back.
I don't know what's happened to the bumper. It's probably around here somewhere, but I don't know.
Well, they're not hard to find, no. I don't think, luckily.
And I think it's got a kink in it anyway, so that's why I took it off.
I know on your side, the near sides are usually worse condition on UK cars, just because they run in the gutter, they get more mud in the arches. So there's a rot.
There's a hole in the sill on this side.
Yeah, under the.
I don't know how that wasn't there when I put it put it away originally.
Yeah.
But your side is pretty good, isn't it?
It's scabby, but I don't know whether it. I mean, the bottom of the door and where it joins the rear quarter, there's scabs. In fact, there's weird scabs. Like
yes.
Peppered all over.
Well, I covered it, the whole thing in bed sheets and duvet covers when I first put it in, and that was a terrible mistake because they just suck up the moisture in the air, especially in the winter. And I think that's why it's rusted, because it held the moisture onto the car.
Right.
And it's rusted on flat spots, you know,
Yeah.
where you wouldn't normally find rust. And I'm sure that's why. It was completely my mistake.
Well, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But actually, the fact that it's, I mean, the floors certainly look good.
Yeah.
These little dents and dings, you know them all. They all tell the story. And I know that you're, hopefully, you are going to restore the car,
Absolutely,
right? You're not selling the car.
I'm never ever going to sell this car.
So I was looking at it last night, trying to work out. It wasn't officially called a campaign. In Germany, it was called the Pirelli.
Yes.
But it didn't come with a sunroof in Germany.
Oh, did it not?
But it came as standard with a sunroof here. And in France, it was called the Plus, the Golf Plus. That trip computer you were talking about.
There you operate.
That's
on this,
right. The
little
MFA.
button,
MFA. I had to refresh my mind. MFA stood for multifunction actuator.
Oh, did you?
That's the most Germanic thing to call it.
It was quite good. I used it. It had oil temperature, miles per gallon, and various other bits and pieces I seem to remember.
That little display.
And it was really good, actually.
You know, the interior is good. I mean, there's one hole there on that
was
side.
there when I bought the car, when I got it. Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. It was smaller than that. I think it expanded over the years.
Yeah, but you've done, how many miles did you say you've done in it?
228,000.
228,000. So over 250,000 miles, and for cloth seats.
Yeah.
And even the carpets, actually, I know the whole thing's dirty.
I used to have mats in there. So I was always aware of trying to keep it, in good where it mattered, good condition.
And I know you've got some service history, which we'll have a look at when we've had a play with the engine. In fact, let's wheel it into the garage and pop the bonnet and see what the score is there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I would love to be able to see if we can fire it up. You might notice this wheel is different to the other wheel that was on it before. Dave preferred this wheel. You found it in the garage, in the barn there.
Yeah, one awful wheel swap for another awful wheel, but less awful.
This is off another Mark 1 that you had.
Yes, that's my original Mark 1 1100 wheel.
But there's a load of other interesting wheels in there, which I'm going to have a look at in a minute. But first, let's have a look at the engine bay. Yeah, we're in.
I know where that is. I can do that in my...
You can do it, can't you? Because I have to look. There's too many... Well, the good news is the 1.8 injector motor's still in it.
Yeah.
That hasn't disappeared.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you actually looked under here?
Oh, I don't know. It's before the internet.
Right, okay. Before the internet. So I think what we'll do, if it's all right with you...
The plugs out.
Yeah, we'll give them a spray, take the plugs out.
Yeah.
Perhaps have the distributor cap off to check the connections. Disconnect the fuel line. Here's the injection, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fuel in.
Yeah, so...
Fuel filter in.
So we'll maybe disconnect it here.
Yeah.
Because when we were pushing it in, an interesting smell occurred, and it was because there's a cut fuel line underneath, or you think that the fuel pump might be missing.
Yeah, the pump's missing. Either me or Dad, years ago, for that Scirocco, might have borrowed it. I can't remember me doing it myself, so maybe it was him.
It's not too much of a big deal because the fuel pumps die anyway.
Yeah.
That was your mum's Scirocco, was it?
Correct, yeah.
We'll have a look at that later on. I have actually, you know what? You found the sill that you obviously bought to fit on this car down there.
Yeah.
So you'd obviously knew that side was more
I was looking for the
rotten.
bumper and I found this instead. Yeah. I must have, you're right, I must have known years ago that this needed replacing.
Yeah.
And I ordered it and I completely forgot about it.
So you've got that at least, because you know, and also I was looking, I think 2 sills and probably both valances, the front and rear valances. They're they're frilly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've had a look beyond it, and if you, now that we've popped the bonnet around the strut tops and the inner wings, and you see the chassis, that's actually really good.
Yes.
So you know, the bones of it might be excellent. It might just look a lot worse because those old bed sheets have made it scabby and
same engine, same clutch, same gearbox.
Is it?
This engine's never been out. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you serviced it yourself because you couldn't afford to pay the wheels.
I always just change the oil. Every sort of 6,000-7,000 miles.
Yeah.
I'd change the oil. Yeah.
So the goosey.
Oh, maybe I should have changed it before.
Well, it's to the top.
Black though.
It is to the top.
Yeah.
Did you ever do a cam belt?
I think I did. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I must have done. Should I take the plugs out?
Yeah. Dave's dad has got quite a collection of extension leads. I don't normally say that, but, but this is, if you're one, I've got to show you this because it's hilarious to me anyway. Come over here. What's unusual about this extension lead in the UK? What's unusual about this? Oh no, nothing. What's unusual about that one? 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 Right, are you going to explain, Dave?
We used to live in Germany well, my parents lived in Germany for 20 odd years, and those are German plugs. And Dad is convinced to this day that they're superior to the English 3-pin plug, because the English 3-pin plug, he says, it's not very sexy. It's very bulky and cumbersome, and you have to concentrate to put it in its socket, and it's only can go in one direction. Whereas the German ones, there's only 2 pins, and they're quite flexible and just as safe because they've got the earth on the side.
Yes.
So he's decked out the whole entire workshop with German pins, and the house with German sockets.
The house?
The house as well, yeah.
I know what you're doing. You're looking at my fleece thinking that looks really nice, and it is, it's really nice. It's 100% made of recycled plastic bottles, and it's warm, and it's got many different zips, but it's also got the embroidered Barnfind logo and the Late Break Show logo on, and you can buy them now. They're in the merch shop, black or green like this one. There's other merch too if you don't like the fleece. You've got to get that fuel lead off. That fuel
this here,
flexi hose, yeah, where it goes in there, that banjo.
Yeah, and so you're going to connect your thing to,
I can either connect the can of hope from this end or from that end.
or we can just bypass the filter.
The filter completely.
And go straight into here. That's the in pipe.
Joey, let's use the filter. Let's presume the filter's
I've got
alive.
a new filter. Shall we use that?
Oh, let's replace the filter. That's a really good idea.
This is my dad, the owner of said MG.
Hello there, pleased to meet you. How are you?
To meet you, all right?
All right.
Fine, thank you.
You've come at a good time. We're not far off, hopefully, starting it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I've been telling them all about you and Ricardo's and Ford's and German socket plugs, the MG, all that stuff.
You and the German plug sockets. That's the funniest. You love your German sockets?
Eh?
You love your German plug sockets?
Oh, yeah, well, I hate the English one. Oh.
You're on camera, Dad.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Well, what we're going to do now, we're just going to put a little bit of lube down the bores.
Yeah.
And then we're going to turn it over with the plugs out.
Yeah.
See if we get a spark and see if the starter works, see if the dash lights illuminate.
Yeah. All right. Shall I give it a crank?
Yeah,
that-
yeah, you can go for a crank. That's on. We've
Yeah.
disconnected the fuel.
Do you
So
want to see if there's any spark?
yeah, and just check your throttle.
Oh, I've got dash lights.
You've got dash lights.
Yeah.
Good.
Shall I crank?
Yeah, go for one. Yeah. Well, we've definitely got a spark.
Yeah, and it turned over.
Yes, I turned it over like you'd bloody driven it yesterday, didn't it? It was free as can be. That I saw sparks off these two, so I presume they're all alive.
Yeah.
So we can assume, if you're happy, we can put these back in.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Put them back in, and then we could introduce some fuel, and let's just hope and pray that this
Yeah.
Bosch cage electronic isn't going to be problematic.
And mechanical injectors. Well, I don't know
a
what
mi-
happens to them after 20 years of not doing
yeah,
anything.
I know. They can be a bit of a...
I was telling them about your smoking as well, Dad.
That my what?
Smoking.
What about it?
Well, you started when you were, what, 13?
No.
15?
17.
Oh, you said 13.
No.
I've told them now, it's on camera.
Oh,
And you saw Spitfires flying over Battle of Britain, didn't you?
oh yeah. The sort of Battle of Britain. I was out the back beyond our house. There were just
In
fields,
Hove.
and I was out the back playing with the mates and looking at all these planes.
What, really?
Yeah.
And you were just playing in a field?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Spitfires and Stukas
Came
and-
out and dragged us in. It's the greatest show on earth. And she comes and dragged us in.
Good enough.
How old were you?
Hey?
How old were you? 10?
Well, I was born in 35, so...
Where's the other plug?
Yeah, you were less than 10. 2 sugars, bit of milk. All right? If that's all
It's all
right.
gone in. I don't know what happened to that water.
Well, let's just check it's not pissing out from underneath, because you never know. So far, so
I'll
good.
get some more.
That'll be all right. We're not going to be working it up to temperature,
No,
really.
No.
This is the point where we honestly don't know whether it will fire, but we've done our best. So, fresh fuel in the can. The can of Hope's rigged up to the cage electronic injection. That's the bit I'm worried about, because they don't like to be left for years. Coolant is in. Rotor arm and cap are clean. Plugs are clean. Back in. We have a spark, and we have the throttle linkage, which is all nicely lubed.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Should we try it?
Oh, what was that?
I don't know. Backfire, a little bit of a hiss. Oh,
Have we got the leads the right way around? The right leads on the right places?
that looks really tight. No. Do you want me to get my phone out? Because I did take a photo before we took it
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Because I'm
That
thick
would
and
help.
I don't like to rely on my own memory.
It sounded like it was...
It did.
It was wrong.
It did sound like it was totally out of sync. Always take a camera phone picture before you play with car engines.
So, one...
And normally I don't take them all off, it's just that they kind of all fell off. Because they're so loose, they're like a
Yeah.
dick in a chimney.
Firing orders 1, 3, 4, 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
1, 3, 4, 2. You're right. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh. You filth.
Why? It's...
I know.
What? It's the idle valve. It's not working, is it? There's no idle, isn't it?
Sometimes
Although
it's
if you open
or
the
is it if
throttle,
you-
you shouldn't really rely on that, should
It
it?
can be sometimes they have an emergency fuel cut-off, so it starts and immediately stops. But
I think the injectors aren't working
well,
because it's running on what we put in here, right?
yeah. If we've
And that runs
squirted
out
a bit
and that's
in
the end of it.
yeah, and that's what I've had on Bosch injection several times. In fact, there was a beautiful Capri barn find I did in Scotland, and that we had the same problem. David's just having a look. He's just taking the injector out.
Looks quite good.
Does it?
Looks. It doesn't look crusty and rusty.
Well, that is good.
So I'm going to crank it and you have a look, see if it
Yeah,
sprays
okay.
anything at
You
all.
do that and I'll put my glasses on.
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
a look. Okay, ready?
Yep. Whoa.
Did anything come out that injector?
No,
Nothing at all.
No.
I didn't think it would.
no, it didn't.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Bosch K-Jetronic is my nemesis.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, we've proved that the engine wants to fire
Yeah.
and is nearly there. It has
Yeah.
been sat for over 20 years. And you are going to refurbish the engine.
I am.
And
I am.
it's kind of nice to know that it's all free.
Yeah.
And there's
That's
a good spark, and it is trying.
Yeah.
So
It
that's
sounds
cool.
good, actually.
Yeah, yeah. So I've made an executive decision. Instead of washing David's Golf, we've decided we're going to have a tour of the sheds in more detail because there's so many other cars and trinkets that I think I'd like to share with you. So let's go on this whistle stop tour. The MG.
1932 MG J2. That's my father's first car.
So cool.
He bought it. It was at the time, it was an old banger when he bought it.
Yeah.
He sort of got it going with sticky tape.
And you said he's driven it, him and your mum have driven it
Yes,
to Germany.
They would have been about 80 at the time, or at least in their late 70s. Drove it all the way to Germany and did a couple of laps on the Nürburgring.
Did the Nürburgring in it? Did the rig in this as an
Yes.
80-year-old couple?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. This is a E30, started life as a 318
Yeah.
Touring, beautiful car. I
It is
found
a
this
Touring.
in London. Dad broke the engine. It got too hot. The head gasket broke.
Yeah.
And he said, right, now it's my chance to get a twin cam engine. I'll put that in. And he kind of started but never finished.
Right.
Here we are.
So here it is.
Yeah.
It looks very straight.
It is very, very
Bodily.
straight. It's immaculate. It
Is
really
it?
is a great car, yeah.
Oh,
The dyno.
I thought it was a bank vault, but it's not.
It used to be a dyno.
So this
Engine dyno. Yeah.
So we mentioned earlier on the episode that David and his dad built a dyno. This is it. Is there a light in here?
Yes. Yeah, it's at the other end, unfortunately.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
I'll let you trip over everything because it'd be worth showing this. You guys are going to appreciate this. Never did I expect to see at the end of a rural barn a full dyno setup.
We had some really good times in here, messing around with engines.
This is it's a proper soundproof booth.
Yeah, yeah. Because the neighbours would have complained, so
Yeah.
me and Dad did all of this.
This is fantastic. It's so much work.
With a little winch here
Oh yeah.
to lift the engine into place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So like any good farmyard, you've got a pile of scrap.
Yeah, that's going to the scrap, metal
Yeah.
scrap.
Yeah. So these are the two things I first saw when I drove in this morning. The 4, very apt. They're relaunching the
Yes.
Renault 4 this year. Should be driving it in the next couple of months.
As a
Brilliant.
family, my father, my brother, and me, we love our cars, but we all loved our individual cars. But this is our binding love was always a Renault 4. We all loved the Renault 4.
You've all got time for one.
Yes, yeah.
Brilliant.
So, loved the Renault 4.
So this one
this one is probably just for spares. It's really bad underneath. It's like paper. It's really rotten.
but it's complete. Then we've
It's
got
complete.
the Scirocco, which we've obviously robbed a few parts off
The
today.
Scirocco, this used to be Mum's, but should have been sold. But Dad said don't, or it was never sold anyway.
The Mark II Scala
Yeah,
with a Mark 1 steering wheel.
yeah. Yeah, that was probably a steering wheel upon one of my Mark 1s. I can't remember. where that came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's a shame to see it here. Yeah, I
It was
think that-
running and driving, but Mum broke her wrist, and it's got no power steering, so you couldn't even park it. So we had to retire it.
they are
She got
notoriously
something-
heavy,
yeah,
aren't they?
Yeah.
A stack of, are these 5 turbo or Gordini?
Gordini wheels, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I bought them for my brother for, I think it was his birthday or something, for his Renault 4 van, and he sounded very grateful at the time, but then later on he got a different set of alloys on his Renault 4 van.
They're so light.
They were never used.
So those wheels originally were going to go on this Renault 4 van.
Yeah.
Bloody love these because the tailgate
Yeah, this lifts up.
This lifts up, yeah. It can come up like that.
And then you can have a ladder coming out there.
So cool.
Yeah.
And so are they. They're cool.
Yeah, those
as
are
well.
the wheels.
So this is going to go back on the road?
Yeah, although he's been saying that for a while now.
Yeah.
Need to, I mean, I'm no one to talk, obviously, but they don't get themselves back on the road, do they?
No, they
You have to
don't.
put the hours in.
You do.
Yeah. This is my pride and joy.
Oh.
I've always loved an E30, and I wanted an E30 saloon,
Yeah.
2-door, and I couldn't find one. I pretty much gave up. And driving home from work one day, I had to go through Romford because the M25 was closed. I saw this parked outside a house, or the houses, and I didn't know which one it belonged to. So I left a receipt with my name and number on it, saying, please call if you ever want to sell this car.
Yeah.
And about a year later, this old lady rang me and I said, do you still want to, are you interested in my BMW? And I said, yes. And the rest is history. That was 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's
What a great combination of silver
manual,
cars you've got.
2-door,
Yeah.
325.
That and the Golf GTI together. What a great 80s
Yeah.
car combination.
Yeah.
You got some barns here, you know. You really bloody
This
have.
used to be a cow shed, apparently.
I've got proper barn envy.
Yeah, so these two, these are my BMWs. That's my first E30 back there. I bought that on eBay for 300 quid. Oh, 15, 20 years ago? I can't remember. Lots of kids, friends of family and family kids have driven it around the fields and stuff. They love it because it's automatic. Any kid knows how to drive it within 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still do. You put a battery in it, it'll start and go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this has gone from being a cheap run around to a field car.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, they're rarer and rarer and rarer now,
Yeah.
Tourings. So
I thought I was almost going to have this scrapped because it's just a 318, very insignificant and an automatic. But now I'm thinking it might be, it might be worth a bit more. I would just hang on to it.
totally.
And what if I don't need to get rid of it? Why get rid of it?
Another 318.
318. This one I bought for £300 off a lady a friend of mine, his landlady had it on her driveway. She'd lost the keys and had some other car in the meantime. And she just left it to rot on the driveway for several years. And I heard about it and said, do you want to sell it? And she said, yeah, fine. I said, how about 300 quid? She said, great, just get rid of it. And pulled it off her driveway, and there were the keys on the floor under the red car.
Did she see?
And I got it home. No, she laughed. She thought it's funny. I got it home and put a battery in it. It started up. It's great.
Oh my gosh.
It's a runner. It's a manual. It's a bit rusty in places. It needs work, but
600 quid for two E30s.
yeah, right. This is Mum and Dad's camper van. The paint has gone. It was nice.
Yeah.
They went to Germany in it, Ireland in it, all over the place when the dog was alive as well. It's great.
You were saying that you guys have always had campers.
Yeah, we've always had a camper van. Yeah,
Mostly Volkswagens?
all Volkswagens apart from a Toyota Hiace in between. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Toyota Hiace.
yeah. Right, in here is my Mk1 Eunos MX-5.
Oh.
1.6.
Nice.
Used to be my daily drive, come rain or shine, winter. In fact, I remember being stuck in snow once at work in this. So I used to drive it in all weathers for about 5 years until I just got fed up with having just 2 seats
Yeah.
and no proper roof.
Yeah.
It
But you
gets
didn't
tiring.
sell it, you just parked it here.
Dad, as usual, I was going to sell it, and Dad said, "Don't sell it. You can't sell that. It's a great car. Just don't sell it."
And there's a go-kart on the bonnet of your MX-5.
Yeah, there's a Ket car. That used to be my Ket car when I was a kid. I used to love that. I spent all day, every day on that, and I outgrew it. So Dad had to add an extension piece of about that much to make it a longer wheelbase. Because
That needs to hang on your office wall or something. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
That is your first car.
It was, my first car. Yeah, I loved that. I really did. This is my brother's Caterham 7.
Yeah.
We've done a few track days in this. We've been to Germany in it, going Nürburgring.
Oh, really?
And we're going to do the same again at the end of May. Me in the E30 and him in this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, just for
Go
just
back-
for yeah.
Go back to where you grew up, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And just watch the other people go around. Maybe do a few laps ourselves. You know.
That's going to be great fun.
Yeah, can't wait. This is the mower that Dad went down the bank on. Used to mow that bank, and fell off, and nearly chopped his foot off. But they put it back together again.
So, you showed me when we first turned up and we were having a bit of a coffee that David's dad mows or did mow on a ride on lawnmower a very acute angled bank, but he would still go at it at speed.
Yes.
And you called it surfing the mower,
Yeah.
but one day it didn't kind of pan out.
He did it when the grass was too wet and the whole thing. Wasn't here. I didn't see it happen, but the whole thing slid, and somehow it then came down onto his foot. Yeah.
What's the story of the Mouldy K11?
A friend of the family, she bought that for her daughter to learn to drive in, and she never did. Or they chose something else, and they left it here. And then eventually, Dad said, "I'll have that as my car." And it was the car he used every day to take the dog to the beach, because the dog died now. But the Labrador, used to love swimming in the sea. So this was the dog walking car, and he loved. It's his favourite car of all time, pretty much.
Is it?
It's a 1 litre twin cam. He loves this car. It's back to basics: windy windows, no power steering, old school.
Yeah.
No frills. Yeah.
It's a pre-facelift, I can tell, and it's got absolute penicillin growing inside it. You forget about how fast time flies sometimes. I mean, I don't think David knew that when he bought that car as a 10-year-old Golf GTI, was it still going to be with him 30 years later, 30 plus years later? No, we didn't get it running today, but it's proved that the car is not just in complete order, but it will run with very little effort, and he is going to restore it, and this is the start of the journey. And I loved the backstory and the fact that in all this area around here, all around the farmyard, is where him and his brother learnt to drive, learnt how to dismantle engines, learnt how to do all that kind of stuff, and it hasn't left them. I don't really want to go, but I'm going to have to go now, so I'm going. As usual, thank you very much for watching the Late Break Show. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm Johnny. This is the Late Break Show, and I'm about to late break now. Oh, that's going to hurt the family jewellery. As is sometimes the case, after we filmed the car, David and his brother spent some time fettling the GTI and managed to get it to run. Here's a little video to prove it. And rest assured, the resto is about to kick off.
She's now running, not very well, terrible misfire, but she's running. She's come back to life.